Good evening, Twitch, and welcome back to United Hearthstone League right here on twitch.tv/UnitedHS My name is Cinder, and I am joined to my left, to your right, by From Velen's Chosen, the one and only Lore Master Eve. Eve, welcome so much.
Thank you. This is the second time I get to help out with the UHL casting, and I'm really excited.
And this is our first time casting. We've been on a podcast together, but we have not cast a match together, so this is super extra exciting. I cannot wait to get blown away by some amazing analysis and a little extra lore on the side. So we're going to jump into the match in a few minutes, but first, Eve, tell us exactly how does the UHL match format work? I know you're very familiar with this.
Well, when you play games with people, the really different thing about UHL, I think, is that you can't keep bringing the same classes. Every time it has to be 3 different classes from the week before, and then again 3 different classes from the week before, until you've used up all 9 classes, and then you can start back at the beginning again. So I think I can't think of any other tournament that does it quite like that. So that's a unique thing.
It is a super cool thing about United Hearthstone League. One of the things that makes it its own thing, and it is super creative. And I think we are on week 6 of UHL. Is that right?
Well, we had kind of a break in the middle there.
Oh,
while
right.
we were figuring out. So it threw me off.
Okay.
But I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think we're in week 6, which means that we are on the last week of a 3-week cycle. So our 2 players for tonight, those being Pear, she just got signed to a group as a streamer. What is her new group? I am unprepared for that. And then also Red Knight, who is an up and coming competitive player. Gravity Gaming is Pear's new organization.
Awesome.
Yes. So they are going to be facing off in their final 3 classes for this rotation. I see that on the class list, Red Knight has Druid, Priest, and Warrior. Pear's bringing Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior, 2 very different lineups, Eve. Walk us through these archetypes. What are these 2 players bringing?
Well, if I'm going to quickly go over to what Red Knight has sent me, it looks like a warrior with Fire Plume's heart. So that would be the Quest Warrior.
I like it.
He's also got Holy Smork is the name of his priest. Okay. So
wait.
That gives me an idea of what direction he's going there.
A Smork priest. Okay, I like where this is going. Yep.
It's got Chameleos. Is this spoilers? Is this something that we want to just see as it comes out? I'm excited for Chameleos. I want to see that work out. And then for his druid, it's called Please No Warrior.
I have bad news for you.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully in the matchups they don't go head to head against each other, but yeah, it's looking like Arcane Tyrant, Whispering Woods. This one's going to be an interesting one. And it looks kind of like the token.
Okay, yeah, the Whispering Woods is going to be that token. And yeah, token does not like Warrior because Warrior has access to Warpath, which just totally clears their token boards. So that's probably why he said that. So I think he's going to be dodging that Warrior. But Pear has Quest Warrior as well, I believe. And what are her 2 other decks?
The Odd Rogue, which I'm very familiar with. I've played that a lot on ladder, so I'm excited to see what she does with that. And then Spell Hunter, which is just fun, especially if you can get Rexar out and then just start making random interesting beasts. I haven't seen her list, but I hope it has Rockdalar in it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Also another really fun card.
Mm-hmm. It's a great late game card, gives you the refill, lots and lots of random spells, and for the most part, the Hunter spells are all pretty good and useful. So it makes for a pretty good late game push between Rexar and the weapon. So yeah, I'm excited for that as well. So I just let the players know to go ahead and get started with their match momentarily. Before we get started here, Eve, predictions. How do you think this best of 5 is going to play out?
Oh, Well, matchups are honestly not my strong point. I bring the decks that I am the most comfortable with and that I know inside and out, and then I just hope that they do well against whatever I end up being matched up against. This is how I play.
Fair. Yeah.
Um, it seems like they have a diversity in their deck between like a bit of control, a bit of aggro, a bit of like mid range. So depending on which decks they end up getting matched up against is probably going to be how it works out for them.
Yeah, and could be interesting if we end up with a Taunt Warrior Mirror as well. That is a distinct possibility. Are either of them playing like the Baku variant, or is it just plain old Taunt Warrior?
Let's see. Yes, Warrior Red Knights has Baku, the Moon Eater.
Ah. So
Yeah.
the armor gain could be a big deciding factor there, and the players are queuing up into game one now. Pear is starting with the Hunter, and she's got a golden Rexar, man. I am super, super jealous. Red Knight, that Spiteful Summoner tells us right away, yeah, that is a Smork deck, but it is a Spiteful Smork deck. So Pear may have to go on the defensive, depending on her hand texture here, Eve.
She held on to Rexar,
Ooh,
which
I like
I
it.
appreciate because she's got two of her secrets in her hand. There's been so many times, especially against a late game deck, that you're just praying to draw Rexar, and it is very, tempting to hold it so you have it when turn 6 comes around.
Yeah, for sure. And there are certain matchups, Pear may be thinking this is a slower priest, and in those slower matchups, you generally do want to keep the Rexar. But Red Knight not having any development options here on turn 2, he's going to have to just go Smork with that little bitty priest. Pear on turn 2 does have some secret options, or can just go to the hero power if she wants.
If I were her, like, the reason we hold on to the secrets is because you're waiting for that spell stone.
Yes,
you want the
yes.
spell stone in your hand before you start playing them, and it's not going to kill the Northshire Cleric anyway. It's just going to give him something he can heal and pull cards off of, so that's a tough thing to use at this point.
Indeed, the Curious Glimmerroot off the top for Red Knight gives him a great aggressive turn 3 play, and it guesses correctly on the Eaglehorn Bow. Pear has one in hand as well. She's going to kill off that Cleric before any card draw comes in hand. Red Knight now on turn 4 with Twilight Drake in hand. That's going to be a good development on turn 4. Pear already on the back foot. But Red Knight goes for the Tar Creeper, Eve. What do you think he's thinking here?
What is her next play? And what secrets is he going to try and get out of the way before he puts down something he wants to stay on the board?
Maybe
I don't
so.
know.
And Pear did just pick up that freezing trap, so maybe Red Knight was considering putting down some fodder for a freezing trap. But Pear...
I'd Glimmerroot into it, right? Because then you can play Glimmerroot again.
True enough, yeah. If he had it all available to it, why not? Pear goes for the tracking now to see if she can pick up some tools for this matchup that she's already getting a little disadvantaged in. To my side, Hunter's Mark Kill Command. I gotta believe that To My Side is a pretty attractive pull here, Eve, but is there a better shot?
It is. I'm wondering if she's thinking of what huge thing is going to come down that she's going to need to try and remove with Hunter's Mark, because there's not a lot of like big removal unless she has that. Oh, what is that spell that just destroys something?
Deadly Shots.
Yes, Deadly Shot. If she doesn't have that in her deck, she might want, and she pulls it.
Oh, she's going to use it right now.
In order to get rid of the taunt.
My goodness.
Right, there we go. These are interesting plays.
Unleash the Hounds. This is a very, very mana-intensive, greedy application of her spells. You even coined this out to secure the board and get that 1/1, but it does secure her the board. Red Knight's going to have to fight back, but he's got the Twilight Drake there available to him. 4/6 versus a 1/1 is a pretty good advantage. Pear now.
Freezing Trap would be a good thing to... Yeah, there we go. He's got nothing else to run into it, so if it moves, it's going back in the hand.
Perfect, yeah. Single big minion, the best situation for Freezing Trap to be deployed. Good on Pear for holding for that. Red Knight getting ever so closer to that Spiteful Summoner play next turn. Does have a Bone Drake available that he pulled off from last turn's top deck. So development continues for Red Knight. Pear going to be on the back foot once again. Oh, he goes for the Twilight Drake again.
Yeah, she's looking for her Rexar play this turn. I'm thinking like that's gonna start develop these amazing beasts she can get out of there. There's so many good combinations you can get out of Rexar beasts that just can deal with anything anybody puts down. It's the way that I've beaten warlocks with their endless minions in the past. You get something with rush, with poison, and you just have so many options.
Yep, and I would tend to agree, although this did not develop anything to the board, which means that 1/1 is now facing off against the 4/5 Drake, and whatever this Spiteful Summoner develops, that's going to be an Ultrasaur for 7/14, my goodness, and that is a ton of pressure now for Pear to have to answer here.
Hunter's Mark and Arcane Shot will remove it, or Hunter's Mark and the Secret. I would want to take a look at my beast first, though. You have enough mana where you can take a look and see what you could make.
Yeah, you never know when you get like a charge plus a poison minion for just you know 2 or 3 mana. Yeah, it's definitely worth a peek. Because random effects, if you have the mana to spare, go ahead and shoot for them. And if not, if you have the tools in hand, otherwise, you have a backup plan.
Yeah, there's a lot of minions that just can do crazy things. There's the bat that when it dies, it does damage to everything on the board. And if you give that poison, then it just wipes out the entire board. So
that's a good one.
If you get rush, poison, and explosive, bad.
This is a difficult set of minions for Pear to choose from. She ends up going with the Cave Hydra plus the Taunt minion for a 7 mana 4/10 that has that sweep effect, and then clears off that Ultrasaur with the Hunter's Mark. So she's back on the board, but still on the back foot. Red Knight at 8 mana has plenty of room to develop here.
Yeah, and next turn, it'll take out almost all of her mana to put down that Zombeast. So she's not going to be doing a ton next turn if that's all she's doing, with the Arcane Shot being like the only other thing she could play on the same turn.
Yeah, didn't get any really cheap beast offerings, so didn't have much to choose from. Red Knight easily clears the board here, develops the Bone Drake, continuing to apply the pressure. Pear gonna be in a tight bind here. Candle Shot, not a high power draw.
Yeah, I think Zombie, since it has Taunt, is still kind of her best thing to hold off at the moment.
It does, it's the 10 health Taunt, at the very least challenges one of the minions on board and is going to require 2 hits from Red Knight's minions to punch through. So it'll give her some time at the very, very least. But it is...
But she's not developing her board. Yeah, I'd almost just take a look at my hero power. Risk it and see if you can come up with something better. But it is a risky play. If you don't find anything else, you're taking all that damage to the face.
That's 14 damage out of 22 remaining for Pear. So I think she's thinking real hard about extending this game a little longer by virtue of that
You do
taunt.
have enough mana for the To My Side, though, if you do still look at your hero power. But she decides to put the taunt down, which is, it's a solid play.
Yeah, I don't hate either of those plays. Misha could have come out of To My Side, but this 4/10 Cave Hydra is going to require a lot of power to punch through. Red Knight now picking up Anduin off the top, so some options for board clears in case Pear drops a huge beast later on in the game. But I got to think that Obsidian Statue, Eve, is real attractive right now if he wants to continue to develop.
Oh, Obsidian Statue. It's never a bad play. It's always a solid play.
Yeah.
That card is just all kinds of good.
Its day may have been past after Big Priest went away, but it is still finding a home in some of these decks. Two hitch trades away, that Cave Hydra, 14 damage again on board for Red Knight. Pear now going for the hero power to see. Oh, there's the Bloat Bat that you were just talking about.
Grab that and pray for rush and poison.
Ooh,
that's what you do.
That's the magic right there. I don't know. Is there a rush poison beast? Yeah, it's a 5 mana.
Yes, it's a spider.
Yes.
Yeah. Which would be 9 mana, which she would not have enough to cast this turn.
Yeah, so she'd have to take another 14 minimum damage.
But there's charge.
Ooh, charge isn't bad. So it'll be a 3/2 charge that deals an AoE to the board. And that's what she went with. So yeah, she's going to deploy this. Be able to combine that with the Arcane Shot to actually pick off 2 minions off this board. That's not a bad combination of plays. Bloatbat coming down. Only one place it can go for the Obsidian Statue. Followed up by the Arcane Shot. That's going to clear the board.
She needs something with lifesteal.
Yeah, but at least Red Knight is down to 4 attack now on board, so the game has been extended up to a point. He can develop if he wants to, but that Anduin is certainly a thought. What is this 9-mana card? Sleepy Dragon. He actually just unironically playing Sleepy Dragon in this list. I wonder if he has Dragon Hatcher somewhere in there as well.
That's what I was wondering. That one that was it Death Rattle or End of Turn pulls
End
a
of
Dragon out of your
Turn.
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to go look back at his. We haven't seen Chameleos, have we?
We have not seen the Chameleos, no.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is not a bad play at all for Red Knight. He maintains control of the board, deals 4 damage, activates Anduin's hero powers to start chipping away at Pear's health, and she's pretty low. She's down to 12. She's going to be running out of time very, very quickly.
Oh, and finally a Spellstone. That's just bad luck to have 2 of those in your deck and only pull it quite a few turns after 10.
Yeah, and having 3 secrets for the majority of the game as well. That's a tough take.
There's a Silence.
Yeah, Silence definitely worth a think versus that Obsidian
all 3
statue.
of these are good.
Yeah.
I like all 3 of them.
Ooh, another Rush available.
Lifesteal and Rush. Lifesteal is key for her. She's at 12 health right now. Lifesteal would be a really good pull.
And if I'm not mistaken, if the Bloatbat does its AoE, that all gets lifesteal.
Yeah. Any damage it does, yes.
Ooh,
but she's chosen the Cave Hydra.
Okay. And
with Lifesteal Rush, so that was the Scalebane?
Yeah, that would have been... Yes, I think so. Yeah, the Vicious Scalehide. Yeah, that's right.
Vicious Scalehide, yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna die.
With that, though, she clears the board and develops Misha off the Animal Companion, so she finally secures the board and stops the bleeding. But Red Knight, with that Anduin Hero Power active, is going to be able to start chipping away at that health total. Although he's going for Misha, he's going to respect this board development and try to take the board back. Is that correct, Eve, or do you just start going face once you get the Anduin Hero Power?
Well, I'm a really aggressive player, but he's making sure that she's got nothing that she can work with, and she has to constantly be on the back foot, always just trying to get back in. So I think it's the more careful play. When you're ahead, you're supposed to play very carefully, and when you're behind, you're supposed to be more risky. Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah, there's even an axiom in chess that says if you're ahead, simplify. If you're behind, complicate. And Red Knight's simplifying the board, making sure that there's only one path to victory and no room for anything crazy to happen. But yeah, it is the more careful play. The zombies that just came out. 8 mana, 7/8 lifesteal. That is a big boy. And Pear finally going to develop this Spellstone after so many turns.
See, trading, yeah. Or go face.
I mean, face is not a terrible situation here because I mean the explosive trap would handle those 3 minions that were on board, so she could have gone face. But Red Knight going to be able to easily clear up this Misha now between the hero power and the second hero power behind the Eaglehorn bow. Although these 2 minions are going to get cleared by the explosive trap. Does kind of pause the offense of Red Knight. Pear gets another crack at developing onto the board.
Now, does she use... Yeah, she has enough mana to check her hero power and then also use her 8 mana zombies. So check first. It's like the Warlock. Always tap first. Always check first.
Almost always tap first. Sometimes you want that lackey to make sure he gets a demon out of the deck first. But for the most part, tap first.
Right. That makes sense.
That is a 10 mana pick for Pear. 8/11 lifesteal. That is a big lifesteal amount that's exactly what you were just talking about, Eve. She needs lifesteal and she needs it badly. And both of these big minions have lifesteal, in fact. So this might actually get her back in the game.
She's going to need one other minion on the board when she casts it in order to give it taunt, and then it's going to for sure get a couple hits off and heal her up.
But the bad news,
what is the attack of it?
It's big. It's an 8-11, but the bad news is Red Knight's holding on to that mind control, immediately flips the board to his favor, and unless Pear can answer that 7-8, this is going to be a game-ending play from Red Knight. I don't immediately see it outside of maybe roll a Huffer and
Animal
cast
companion,
Wing Blast. Yeah.
right? Exactly. She needs Huffer. Or to check her hero power. That's also a good idea.
She's got the mana for it, so you may as well. You could get some kind of poisonous effect, so why not?
I would go for
it?
the lowest. Like, I'd go for the Hungry Crab, so I knew I had mana left.
Poisonous
there you
Rush.
go.
There it is.
Vile Brute Skitterer. That's what you need. And she did choose the lowest mana. Good for her. She has the mana to cast it.
I definitely get the feeling she has played this deck once or twice.
Now, what do you do with the other 2 mana? Use your secret to buff up your Spellstone again? Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's there's no AO. Well, there is one AOE available for Red Knight. That's the Duskbreaker, and Pear's going to be praying that he doesn't have it in hand. But with Red Knight down to just 13 cards, I gotta believe that the chances are good that he would have it sight unseen. But we, of course, with Caster Vision, know that he does. Red Knight going to use the Acolyte to power down that crab, but that's still Shadow Priest. Stealing.
And grabs it. That's amazing. Wow.
Once again, reversing the board to his side of the table. This is one of the ways that this Spiteful Priest stays in the game against greedy decks, by just stealing your stuff. You would think that's a rogue thing, but this is actually the priest thing in Hearthstone.
It is kind of more of a priest thing than a rogue thing.
I mean, you think about, Glimmer Roots and stuff like that just takes stuff out, Mind Vision, stealing your opponent's cards, but who knew? Priest Anduin was the actual criminal this whole time. Pear going for the hero power, gets a 3/7 taunt. Not terrible, but it's not going to keep her alive, I don't think. She's going to have to do a little bit more work to the board in order to survive one more turn here.
Yeah, it's too much mana to be able to do all the things she needs to do in order to stay alive. I think this might be it. Something I didn't notice about the Galaka Crawler that went out before? Or was it... That Nightmare Amalgam is all
it hit
types?
Right. So it actually hit a Murloc.
So when it came out, it just destroyed it because it was a Murloc.
That's right.
And then buffed itself as well.
My goodness. So
that's amazing.
This is actually going to give... This might give her a turn reprieve unless Red Knight can punch through this Misha and deliver 4 more damage behind these minions. Dustbreaker going to come down and do the clearing. 1 more hero power heading for the face. That's going to set Pear down to 2, plus the bow charge is going to be lethal. Red Knight's going to be taking the first game in this best of 5 on the back of that Spiteful Priest. You thought Spiteful Priest was done. Wait a minute. Oh, did I miscount lethal? I think I did.
What?
I
am confused as well. I thought he had it in the bag. I did not think... Did he do it out of order?
What'd I miss? Okay. I got caught up trying to call a match.
We're still going.
We still got 1 more turn for Pear.
Do something with Rush and Lifesteal.
Rush, Taunt, Lifesteal, point, just all the keywords. There's a Rush, but no Lifesteal offered. This might be the end for Pear. Well,
I'm as confused as you. I thought that I had counted it as well, and he had enough to take her out. So
these 5/3 Echo Rushes are actually going to clear the board, but Red Knight is... I don't know why this Dustbreaker is stuck. There he goes. But Red Knight should be able to produce a couple of hero power charges to be able to finish this game. So this is the last stand. All credit to Pear for playing it out to the very last. But this should be the end. I can't imagine Red Knight's going to miss this lethal spot here.
Yeah. I mean, he did have so many high-cost minions in his hand that to play them and also use his hero power may have been where we didn't catch it.
Yeah,
there we go.
May have missed the mana count, but that's okay. We got there. Red Knight going to go ahead and take this first game in this best of 5 series on United Hearthstone League. So, in between the first and the second match, we want to remind folks that if you are enjoying this content and you find this super cool and interesting to watch with creative decks and up and coming players and your favorite content creators all competing in this very unique format, you should head to patreon.com/UnitedHSLeague and help us out by becoming a patron. You get some really cool rewards. You get your own chat room even on the Discord channel. You get all of us to yourself, casters and players alike. And if you're in the high tier, we get to say your name on stream like I'm about to do right now. Run. You are our patron of the week. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to join Run, she's a sweetheart. You should definitely be a patron and join her in the private chat room and check out all the other rewards you can get on patreon.com, because this is only the beginning. This is not the end game for UHL. This is the first step in a big plan. Eve, I know you've seen the big plan, so people definitely want to get in on the ground level on this. Would you agree?
Yeah, there's big plans being made for next season for kind of like, I'm not going to say anything because spoilers, but
Spoilers.
Expansion, plans going forward are big.
Let's just say, if you like watching this and you might have thought to yourself, how do I get involved? That question may be answered pretty soon. But you got to be a patron. You want to get you want to get in the door before the gates are opened, as the arena champion might say. What is that? Is that what that card is? The arena champion? The gates are open.
Gates are open.
Yeah.
That I can hear him saying it in my head.
Right? It's one of those very unusual, rarely played cards, but yeah. But back in vanilla, that guy was a boss, man. 6 mana, 6/5 taunt. He was good.
It sounds good. Yeah, get in on the ground floor before everybody else finds out that it's cool, and then you can say, "I knew way back when," before everyone else.
Yeah, I was
on the bandwagon.
It was like me, Run, and Zeroshio, right? And it was us three, and we got this ball rolling. Yep, get the ball rolling. Go to Patreon.
We call them Legacy Patreon.
There you go.
That's what you could be.
You could be a legacy patron. So as we're waiting for the casters to keep going here, we have Red Knight still has the Druid and the Taunt Warrior remaining. Pair does have a pretty good look on these classes, I gotta say. Odd Rogue and Taunt Warrior are both real good against that Token Druid. I think the Spell Hunter is going to be the big question mark, Eve. What do you think?
See, what I was told when I was playing was you keep playing the one that loses until you win, because you're going to have to win with all three of them in the end anyway. So I'm kind of wondering, and she queues up again with her Hunter.
There you go.
So we're going to see this amazing Hunter again. I'm excited. Yeah,
and Red Knight going into the odd Taunt Warrior. No 2s, 4s, 6s, or 8s, or even 0s. This is going to be all Baku all night. And it has some interesting inclusions because of that odd limitation. You get Town Crier, you get Rabid Worgen, and you get a whole lot of armor, Eve. Tank up 4 per turn on command.
I feel like this is a good one for her, though, because that Rexar gives you value for days. You don't run out. You can just minion after minion after minion and just put so much pressure on them that if she can get a decent start here, I think she has a great chance. And good, she finally gets her Spellstone. No secrets.
No secrets.
This time. But when she gets them, she'll have a Spellstone in her hand to trigger.
Well, the good news is, though, this is a warrior that is not going to be applying a ton of pressure. So she has time to dig through the deck and find all those pieces that she needs. Candleshot going to go ahead and take care of this Town Crier over 2 turns. And Red Knight, he's got to deploy that quest or tank up. That's 4 armor is hard to pass up, especially against a Hunter. So he's going to hold on until he starts playing taunts before he develops that Fire Plume Heart. And there's the secret for Pair. Spellstone powering up.
See, here's the thing about Wandering Monster. Sometimes it gives you an amazingly statted minion, and you're so happy, and sometimes it gives you that Warlock one that makes you discard cards whenever it gets damaged.
Hell Fiends.
So it's such a roll to see whatever comes up when that thing goes off.
Yeah, I've gotten some really good ones and some really bad ones. Red Knight going ahead with the Stonehill Defender to start ticking off taunts. Gets a gem-studded golem. That is a beastly card for this deck, thanks to that tank up hero power. But the flanking strike's going to get pair on the board and clear the way for him. Rabid Worgen, though, immediate trade. Red Knight equalizes the board.
Just going to stop her from getting anything going, getting any start. She's going to play her Spellstone now.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just 9
makes
damage.
Makes it tough for him to deal with. I mean, what can he do? Just put down a taunt.
Right, and Pear is rolling into turn 6 with an Eaglehorn Bow and an Arcane Shot to clear that off without having to put any minions into it, or Flanking Strike if she wants to use that. She's got plenty of options here, and she's going to start developing some serious power. And she's asking for Brawl, and if he doesn't have it, which he doesn't at the moment, this is going to start dealing quite a lot of damage.
I like it. Good aggressive play. Keeps her board. Keeps the pressure on.
Yeah, getting Red Knight down to 0 armor is every turn going to be a big part of the equation, because don't want to be allowing this deck to have all of its armor gaining trickery, getting that gem-studded golem to attack, activating Shield Slam, Reckless Flurry, that kind of thing. Darius Crowley, though, coming into hand for Red Knight, and that is a big beastly card that Pear's going to need to answer at some point when it comes down, because those growth minions get real big, and you've played Rush Warrior, Eve, so you know exactly how good he is.
Yes, but a wide board, I think, is a little more than just one big minion. I think if she continues to go wide, then it's not going to be advantageous to him to just put down one big minion to deal with it, because she could just ignore it and go face, especially if she has a freezing trap.
Well, Deathstalker Rexar is going to hit the board now and allow these wolves to go ahead and trade down the Phantom Militia 1 for 1 and keep her wolves on board. A little weak to a Whirlwind, but she's got to get through those taunts one way or another. Although she's considering that Arcane Shot. Could
I
be
like it.
now.
I mean, what else is she going to use it on? What's the best thing that she could save that for? Okay, because he's got the access to like whirlwind things, and that could easily get rid of her wolves. So I would want to save the wolves' health to make sure that they can withstand something like a whirlwind.
Yeah, good call.
Trade out of hand.
And Red Knight definitely
he's thinking about it too.
The only other option I think Pear might have been considering holding for a Hunter's Mark against one of the like a big taunt, but keeping your board intact seemed like the better play in the short term. But Red Knight going to clear the board and get Darius Crowley into play. Pear rolling into 8 mana to my side, and a secret will do just fine. Or hero power.
Or build a beast. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Build a beast first, and then to my side if I don't get anything immediately that is like super. Well, just for stats, maybe. Lifesteal, I mean, her health total is not in any danger, so I'd go for something with just good stats.
Yeah, and didn't get a lot of big beasts in the offering here, but offered a taunt, offered a lifesteal, so not totally without worth. And she goes for a very, very small 3 mana 3/4. I don't hate it. It gets the job done.
Your other beasts have 1 attack.
Yeah,
that's pretty good with To My Side and.
Yeah, because there's a really good chance that Huffer comes out of that To My Side. The bow, Eaglehorn Bow, cleans up Darius Crowley, gets Pear back on the board. Red Knight back to playing defense. Gonna start getting some life and drawing off the shield block. Oh, picks up the Direhorn Matriarch. Oh, that is a big beast. Oh,
but puts down Rotten Applebaum.
Okay. Playing, you know what? Probably wants to draw out the, Deadly Shot or Hunter's Mark now and play that Matriarch uncontested. And he's not in any danger either. He's at 26. Pear hitting the Zombeast again. Not
I like
bad
Crackling
options.
Razor Maw here.
Pretty good.
That's what I would go for. So you can address the beast already on the board.
Yep.
Poisonous is a pretty good draw.
Maybe a 5 mana 5/5 with Poisonous and evolve a friendly beast. That is a pretty good pull.
And she has enough mana to play it on this turn if she so chooses.
Definitely giving it thought. I really like how much thought she puts into each of these. Eve, because she knows that this is going to be a long game against a taunt warrior, and she's got to consider very carefully the implications of each of these discover choices. Even this discover here, what do you go for?
Divine Shield, absolutely. Preserves the body, allows you to get the damage in that you need, and you still have your full health. Yeah, that's what I would have gone for as well.
Perfect, and she secures the board without damaging her own. And Red Knight going to be back to throwing down taunts, but Red Knight, I believe, is at 5 ticks on the quest, now 6 with the Tar Creeper. Gem-Studded Golem going to make it 7, and we have quests.
Yeah. I think that's what he was going for, just pushing and pushing to get his quest done so that he could start putting pressure on her with that new hero power and the weapon. Hunter's Mark is going to make that golem gone, especially if she uses the arcane that she kept all of this time.
Yeah, so that arcane shot hold paying off now for Pear. The Hunter's Mark coming into hand here, but always build that beast first.
Build that beast.
Oh, a fledgling or a Tundra Rhino. Both of those are really good choices.
Your beasts have charge. You know what? I like the Vicious Fledgling more.
Yeah, because it just starts compounding so much pressure over time if it's not answered. It's really hard to pass up. But then again, Sulfuras is in hand for Red Knight, so just a single hero power can just take that fledgling off the board. That's a tough call.
Stealth, poisonous, lifesteal. What does she go for?
Well, let's see. It is 6 mana, 5/5 stealth, poisonous, and of course the adapt. The stealth is a nice touch, though. It almost guarantees that Zombeast will get to face and get the fledgling's ability to trigger at least once these taunts are punched through. And yeah, Hunter's Mark, Arcane Shot going to do the deed and punch through with the rest of the minions. And Red Knight
and
now on the defense.
holding on to her secrets, not playing them. I guess she's waiting to see if she has a spellstone in hand before she starts using them. I might have put down a freezing trap just in case a rush minion came out.
Yeah, good point.
But it's a good play to hold it on and wait for your spellstone to come out.
Ooh, Red Knight gonna face tank 8 damage to get rid of that Zombeast. He's not going to go for the Sulfuras just yet. He saw the Hunter's Mark, Arcane Shot. Feels safe playing that Matriarch now. Going to try and stabilize the board before getting that hero power online. And Pear going right back to the Build-A-Beast.
She's got a silence.
Nice.
She has options to a silence. Does that put her within range of lethal? No.
Well,
I was thinking to my side, but she doesn't have enough mana to play to my side and the silence at the same time.
Right.
But that, yeah.
Well, the silence, that 2/7 beast is that's definitely a thought, because then it's going to require Red Knight to hit it with a rag shot if he wants to clear it. But she's got plenty of options here. Lifesteal's okay, taunt's okay. Yeah, she goes with 4/8 silence. I like it.
And go face.
Heck yeah.
See, now, if she had her freezing trap up right now, all of her things would be protected from that Matriarch, but...
True enough.
I think really waiting for that Spellstone... When you have Spellstones, it's hard to play the secrets without them.
Yeah.
You want to trigger them every time.
Red Knight getting the opportunity to play out 2 or 3 Phantom Militia, and he's going to do exactly that and set up this huge taunt wall. Pear's going to have to punch through this somehow, but Unleash the Hounds and To My Side is going to be a big part of that. In fact, I think
yes,
the Zombies has Direwolf, so if she gets Leok on the To My Side, she can get a full clear on this board easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Zombies, though, coming into play now. She gets...
Now she doesn't have the mana for it. Yeah,
she's just going to go with the Zombies, but it's pretty good Zombies. That's quite a number of Discover effects all at once. It was Echo Charge, and it's got the Adapt.
Echo!
Ooh,
oh my goodness.
That is a great Zombeast.
This is amazing. I love this game.
I love the creativity, the identification of these potent combinations that she's putting together with the Zombies. This is good stuff.
Rush, Wind Fury, just all the things.
Yeah, so yeah, she's going to use that Rush to punch through the taunt first, and I imagine 8 more damage heading downtown. Red Knight's in a heap of trouble here. He did not get his hero power online to fight back on this board, and he's using a fiery war axe to try and fight for this board, and it has cost him dearly, Eve.
Yeah, waiting on that Ragnaros hero power because he wants to keep his tank up. I don't know if that, like, it was hard for him to throw away that 4 armor every turn, I think.
Yeah, I don't blame him, but as you noted earlier when this match started, that Build-A-Beast is just going to continue to develop more and more threats at very, very little cost up front, and keep Pear in this long game. Rock Delar coming into the hand now for a refill, so now Pear is going to be really wanting to just dump this hand out and apply as much pressure as possible, and have that Rock Delar to refill later. Another good set of options here. Look at this Life Drinker. 3 damage. That
could even finish him off.
Yeah, if she pulls a charge minion on the back of that Life Drinker, didn't get it, but Rush is just as good. What does he have on board? He's just got the Apple Bomb on board. So the Apple Bomb is going to heal Red Knight for 3, so he'll go back to 9. The Zombies will do 3
here.
Yeah, I like it too, because there's a very good chance that that Huffer will have 5 attack when paired with Leok.
Yeah, and he can just clear and then set up for lethal next turn. But no, I think she's going to go for the Zombies. To my side.
She might even go for the Explosive Trap here in combination, just to put 2 more damage on the board.
Yeah, that'll clear. No.
Oh, the Freezing Trap. Yep. This doesn't clear the Rotten Apple Bomb though, but Pear is at a healthy life total. She's got at least 1 trade protected by that Freezing Trap. Although Red Knight will get to just replay that minion, and he's got other taunts in hand that if he wants to use them. But Red Knight is in very, very dire straits here. Back to 7 health, but that's not a whole heck of a lot.
And she's still at 30.
Yeah. 30 with 6 cards and Rock Delar to refill. So Red Knight feeling like he needs to trade. And gets him back up to 11. That is 2 taunts in the way, though. So he's starting to develop a little bit of defense, starting to see a little daylight. Pear desperately looking for a way to finish this game as quickly as possible. She's so close to the finish line.
Before he can stabilize, check that hero power. Stampeding Kodo. Nothing on the board with 2 or less attack.
No, but there might be. You could see a Stonehill Defender, could see a Phantom Militia. It's definitely worth a thought. Poisonous is excellent in this situation. Even though these other 2 minions have no abilities, she's still giving it all the thought that she can give it. Do the stats themselves have trade implications to the minions? And
for me too, it's can I play something this turn as well?
Well, she can definitely play that Zombies. That is Arphis plus the Stegodon for an 8-mana 4/8 taunt that gives her a Death Knight card. That's not bad.
And those Death Knight cards are so good. Like, every once in a while you get one you can't use, but a lot of the time they can give you so much value. I like that.
Yeah, and Red Knight can't trade through this either. He's going to have to, if he wants to clear this, he's either going to have to hope for a Rush minion off the Town Crier, or use the weapon, and I don't think he wants to use the weapon at all.
No, he wants to keep that tank up for as long as possible. I think he just holds here and tries to stabilize.
Yeah. Oh, well, he does.
I mean, I'd make her do the trading and keep all of my minions if I were him, to just try and get as many more tank ups in as I could.
I think so too, but I think he also wanted to put that second Direhorn Matriarch back into the deck, so can't blame him for that. Pear still has plenty of options, but Red Knight's starting to stabilize, and Pear these are good cards, but they're not efficient cards. She really needs
She's been using Build-A-Beast so much that she has a full hand of cards, so Rock Delar is not going to give her anything.
Ooh, Gastropod, Stoneskin Basilisk, both good options.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have any silence in his deck, so he's going to have to actually trade with that to get it out of the way, which is not good for him. I mean, he does have BGH. If she makes it too big, then you've got a chance of it getting shot down with that.
Yeah, big game hunter was on vacation for a couple of years up until recently. But the Life Drinker gonna go ahead and deal 3 damage to the face, but Red Knight still got 2 taunts in the way. Armor tank up still in play. Probably does not feel the need to deploy that hero power right now that he's more or less secured the board for his side, but he does have to answer this poisonous zombies. Gonna have to trade 3 minions into this to get rid of it.
That is good value for her, for sure. She's not having to trade at all. He's having to trade into it.
And probably isn't real excited about offering her a Death Knight card. Oh, tank up first.
Tank up first.
Almost missed another 4 armor, but he got it. Sulfuris now coming into the hand. Rag, Die Insect online. Starts.
Oh, and it goes face.
And she gets Death and Decay. That's not bad, but it's not great either. It doesn't affect the board right now. She really needed something to answer this 6/5 and also find a way to avoid those rag shots hitting the face. 8 random damage.
Does she still have Wandering Monster up from the beginning of the game? Has he never actually hit her face with a minion at this point?
Never.
Oh my goodness.
This Animal Companion, though, is a pretty good... It's a 1 in 3 to hit Leok, which is what she wants, although she could guarantee it with the extra point of damage with another play. But I think she's going to roll for it. Yeah, just...
Or 3 damage to the minions looks like it. Yeah. I like the body, honestly, to put more pressure, but...
Yeah, I would agree. Although I understand the risk of possibly throwing away 2 Huffers into that Matriarch. And Red Knight running low on cards as well. So he's going to hit
starting to get her total down, though. She's down to 14. Like, I need more bodies on the board in order to have that hero power hit something else other than face. She doesn't have any lifesteal minions at the moment, so it's actually kind of, 9. He's at 9 health, but she's starting to go down.
Yeah, and Freezing Trap, a great top deck here. It'll save, if, depending on how he sequences, could save quite a bit of damage to the face and possibly extend the game by another turn. To my side, being reached for by Pear, hoping to get a trade off on the Stonehill Defender. That'll isolate the Direhorn Matriarch for the Freezing Trap, but it's not the only play available to her. She's got some other options.
Sometimes you just have so many cards in hand, it's overwhelming the different options that you have and which one is the right play.
Double Huffer.
She did get 2 Huffers.
One of them trades away that Defender, and the second one's going to stay. I like it. It's another body to absorb a potential Die Insect, 8 damage random. And look at this. Reckless Flurry. Red Knight going to expend his last 2 points of armor to clear those 2 Huffers. Rag shot.
Where does the rag shot
hits the
finally
Misha.
hits a minion?
And
now we're going to see the Wandering Monster. No, he doesn't attack.
He neglects to attack the face. He's respecting that secret. But Pear just picked up a kill command. If she can tracking for 2 more points of damage and put down a beast, we're done. She might be able to put this game away right now. In fact, she could do it with an explosive trap. She might have finally...
tracking.
Yeah, I would definitely... Arcane Shot, that's
Arcane
gonna do
Shot!
It. Unleash.
And she nails it.
Oh, wait, is that enough mana? Yes. Yeah, plenty enough mana.
That's exactly...
Wow! Pear perfectly identified her outs in that situation. Little bit of help from the top deck in the heart of the cards, but Pear evens up this series with a very tight match on game 2. Eve, I am impressed. That was some excellent play on both sides of the field.
Knowing exactly what she had left in her deck and knowing there was a good chance she'd be able to track that out. Yeah, I like that call. You called it right before she did it, and she found the lethal.
There it was.
That was amazing.
I may have played a little bit of both Hunter and Warrior in my lifetime. Both favorite decks of mine. But if you want to see some Hunter and Warrior stuff in the very near future, we've got some more matches for you coming up this week. Tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, Spyvier from 1600 Dust is going to be up against Versika from the Hero Power Podcast, Battle of the Podcasters, and both of those. Versika is such a creative player too. He comes up with some of the craziest stuff, and I love to watch him play. And then tomorrow night, oh look at this, Eve. Mike Lowe versus Lore Master Eve at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to see Eve going on to the other side of the glass and taking on Mike Lowe, check that out. But then the UHL is not done for the week. Friday night, Storm Rage versus Badass Women of Hearthstone. Another one. Edelweiss going to be playing for Team Toast at 7:30 Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, even more action. A morning match at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Andrew from the Happy Hearthstone versus Master Extraordinaire Larry. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern, Rod Johnston from Tier 5 versus Jordan Lingo, the green speed himself. Eve, this is a packed schedule, and you're part of it.
I'm excited to see all of these. I was actually telling Red Knight that I might have to grab his Druid list because I don't know what I'm playing yet against ML. Is it ML Games?
It's, you know,
what his tag is?
He's kind of transferring his identity to Mike Lowe. It's just easier. But yeah, like ML Streams, ML Gaming is that's the man with the plan. He plays himself a lot of Hearthstone. Tell you what, and his stream is fire if you have not checked it out. But what's your class selection down to, Eve, tomorrow? What do you have left?
I've got Paladin, Druid, and Warlock. That's what I've got left.
I like all of those.
After the nerfs, I was kind of at sea as to what to play for Paladin for sure. Oh, we're gonna get to see her Odd Rogue, and he's bringing his Warrior again.
Yep. I don't hate either of these. Taunt Warrior, at least with the Baku Warrior, has a pretty good chance of fending off the aggression from the Odd Rogue. And Pear offered the Hinch Clan Thug early on and correctly goes for it in the mulligan. I like
Absolutely.
it. That is such a strong early play, especially when you're on the coin. And Firefly.
She's got that Vile Spine Slayer too, which is exactly what you want to see when you're against a taunt deck as an aggro deck.
Both players with Baku, but with extremely different strategies. That 2 mana 2 damage dagger is so efficient and outputting damage for its mana cost. And Pear managed in the mulligan to pick up Fireflies, so she's got plays. She's got a great curve going into turns 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Both Vile Spine
picks up another Vile Spine. Yeah, So what do you think about the odds against the Taunt Warrior and the Odd Rogue? Is it just kind of 50-50, or does somebody kind of have an edge here?
Taunt Warrior traditionally does better. Just because there's only so many taunts the rogue can punch through, but Pear's hand, it just is fantastic. She's going to be able to develop early and use those Vile Spine Slayers to punch through. So I don't know. This could look very good for Pear if this hand holds up.
And he did go for the Lich King. So it's going to be turn 8 when he can finally put that taunt down.
Yeah, I didn't see the other offerings, but that is definitely a greedy pick for such an aggressive opponent. Although the Town Crier picks up the Rabid Worgen and trades away that Hinch Clan Thug, so Pear going to have to redevelop her offense. But Tar Creeper is a great lead into a Cobalt Scalebane on turn 5.
Yeah.
Direhorn Hatchling gonna try and protect the face a little bit. So no interaction with the board though. So Pear now actually picks up the Fungal Mancer. She's got the option to go with either that or the Scalebane, and I don't blame either of these plays. These are both great plays.
She could even Vile Spine out. She's got the coin if she wanted to, but it looks like she's going for the more aggressive play with the Cobalt.
Yeah, I like asking for the brawl. Red Knight just deployed a fairly chunky minion, so he would have to risk throwing it out and not tanking up for a turn if he wants to put out the brawl. So I don't mind developing here as strongly as she is. And look at that.
Making sure the attack lands on the minion that she wants it to by removing the Firefly.
Very, very smart. Yeah, takes the Firefly out of the brawl equation. You're right. And Red Knight, now that brawl is not an attractive option here, but he may feel like it's necessary Gonna go for the shield block instead, maybe. Oh, he's thinking about it. He could also clear the board by way of tank up Reckless Flurry, but both of those are very costly to him right now.
What will he do?
both of these options really require him to sacrifice that Dire Horn, but he wants to guarantee that all minions die, not take a chance that his will live through the brawl, because there's a 2 and 3 chance that Pear keeps a minion on board. So yeah, he just wanted to clear the board entirely. But now Pear has development options once again. Argent Squire, Flame Elemental, and she can develop these smaller minions too, and save one of them for the Vile Spines. Especially
well, she can save the coin if she wants to. Yeah, and then she doesn't have to worry. She can still kind of go wide. Holding back on the pirate?
Yeah, just
until she has something.
For a second activator, she can coin one Slayer and then deckhand the other one to activate the combo.
Yeah, that's a good call. And save that for some kind of trade if she doesn't have anything and if it gets all removed.
Yep, and could also be used in combination with Fungal Mancer or Cold Blood to deliver some burst damage. Red Knight just going to go ahead and develop the Town Crier slightly passive, just removes one minion from the board. And Pear still has pretty good options available to her. Fungal Mancer.
The SI7 agent can clear that rush minion pretty easily, so she doesn't have to use her face.
Yeah, but she does have to combo it with something. So she would have to deploy possibly the Fungal Mancer. I don't know if she wants to do that. Looking at the coin, though. Yep, she's going to use that with the SI7 and then Fungal Mancer, I would imagine.
This guy's toast.
Yeah, that looks really good. Makes her good bodies. Do you think that he brawls here?
That is a risky brawl because 2 out of 3 of those brawl results are still pretty ugly. So I don't know if you do that or if you try to find some other way to do it. You know, it's 8 mana now, and he does have the Lich King. I could see him being tempted to play it, but that'd be such a bad play into a Vile Spine Slayer. Ooh, but Darius Crowley coming off of the Town Crier, it's something, but it still leaves quite a lot of power on board. So none of these options are really, really that great for him. Shield Slam will remove a single minion, but that's about it. Ooh, both Shield Slams now in hand, though. Goes for the Axe. So this will remove 2 minions, and but leaves up that 3/3 with Divine Shield. And, ooh, Deadly Poison. Nice pickup here, and it's another combo activator for the Vile Spine Slayers. Hard to pass up that dagger charge there, but you know, Eve Red Knight still though 31 life. Like he's
that's the thing. It's getting late game. Turn 8 is late for a rogue, and she's only got 1 body on the board. You're holding on to those Vile Spines because you want to be able to remove, so they're not doing anything for you. They're just sitting in your hand. Baku is like what you don't want to see.
Yeah, never want to see the Baku.
It activates at the beginning of the game, but it's just not a card that's helpful for you at any point in your game.
No.
So yeah, her hand doesn't look great at this point.
Although, I mean, the longer the game goes, though, at least Baku will be a threat that Red Knight has to answer. So as Pear sees more and more removal pieces used, she could use it. But Crowley going to clear the board here. Red Knight's still at 29. And Crowley is 6/3 after the trade. That's tough.
It's Vile Spine, I believe. I mean, at this point, as a rogue, my heart is starting to sink. It's getting close to turn 10. I don't have their health total down low enough where I'm comfortable. He's going to be able to keep armoring up every turn. I'd like to see something, maybe Yeah,
I can. The fledgling is certainly a play. She's already seen one Fiery War Axe gone into the graveyard. So, and then another Shield Slam, or the first Shield Slam's been used, and with only 4 cards, the other one may or may not be in hand from her perspective. So fledgling might be a worthy risk to combo with that Vile Spine Slayer. I would not hate it.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. She's thinking hard though. She's a better player than I am, so I'm interested to see what she does.
Well, I think that maybe the other option is refresh the dagger and use the Deadly Poison. But yeah, she's going to go ahead and Slayer plus Fledgling, and Red Knight, ooh, he sees one Vile Spine Slayer, so he thinks that Lich King is safe. Shield Slam is going to remove the Fledgling, but this other Vile Spine is going to take care of that Lich King pretty easily. Oh,
She
Frostmourne.
didn't attack with her weapon last turn.
No, she sure didn't. I don't know what she's saving the charge for. But Red Knight's Death Knight card is Frostmourne, which not only removes stuff, but then lets him replay it once the weapon breaks. That's a really good pickup.
Board. I mean, he'd have to face tank things, but he's got enough armor. He's not really that worried about it.
He's at 29 life, tank up every turn. This is not last game where he was down to 6, by this stage of the game. He is still basically at full health. Deadly Poison coming out to combo the Vile Spine Slayer and put the Lich King back at the Frozen Throne. And a decent amount of damage on board for Pear. That's 10 every turn. So Red Knight does have to come up with some answers here. But Frostmourne, that's quite an answer. Oh, he's going to go for the Phantom Militia,
3-4 bodies, if he eats those up, it's not that big of a deal if they end up on his sides of the board.
Just trade material, basically. But Red Knight goes ahead with... he knows that Odd Rogue, the one thing it cannot do is deal with wide boards. So he puts down 3/2/4s, but that Phantom Knight is very timely. He's going to allow some value trades here for Pear and put those Echo minions away. And maybe develop an SI7 on the side. Trades coming in. Pear starting to run out of offense, though, Eve. Like, how do you even begin to close a game at this point? Is it possible? Do you keep fighting? What are you looking for?
Hinge Clan Thug that sticks? I don't know. I honestly want to say that aggro decks do not do well past turn 10. Nope. Especially if they don't even have their opponents down to half life. So and he's just going to keep dropping taunts. And she's having to deal with them and remove them instead of going face where she wants to go. So it is kind of... There's a Henge Clan Thug. But it is kind of a sinking feeling in your stomach where you're at this point as an aggro deck.
Yep.
She might want to play it out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be too pessimistic. But it is kind of a losing game at this point.
Well, she has shown us that she can navigate her way out of some losing situations already. So I believe she'll continue to try and find a way out of this. But yeah, quest complete. Taunts on board. 26 effective life. Yeah, this is a tough one, and she could plant a Hinge Clan Thug, she could plant Baku, but there's still options for Red Knight to handle those minions. So and then she's still got to deal with the taunts that are already on board. Ironbeak Owl,
silencing. Yeah.
I would think the Direhorn Hatchling.
Yeah, to make sure he doesn't get another card out of it, and then
just gonna base tank a little bit on the Tar Creeper and send in 3. Weak turn, though, for Pear. Very little development to try and punch through those taunts.
Yeah, and she has a lot of mana left. I'm wondering what she's waiting for.
Yeah, it's already getting to a point where something like a Leroy Coldblood is not even a plan for the end of the game. Red Knight's just going to continue to clear minions here by virtue of the Frostmourne. And well, there's a Coldblood, but it's a little late in the game, and there's still a taunt in the way.
Yeah, and he did show that he has Frostmourne, so anything that she puts out has the ability to be eaten and spit back out on his side of the board. So Henge Clan Thug, that would be right where it was going.
Yeah, she does not want to give Red Knight a Henge Clan Thug. I think she's going to want to offer up something, like a 3/3 or a 2/1, but that just means even less development for Pear. Not anything she does here, Red Knight's just going to turn around and use it for himself in 2 turns. So this is a very, very sticky position for Pear. Deckhand Coldblood will clear the Tar Creeper, but that's so many cards at this stage in the game.
And not only that, but if he just decides to go face with the 5 attack weapon, he's going to start putting her down low. That's a lot of attack over several turns.
So she's actually going to get a board clear here via Coldblood and the SI7. Gonna go ahead and risk it and plant that Hitch Clan Thug and just tell Red Knight that he has to remove this or else. And at least it's 4 more damage, so it's not 0. Red Knight, though, got his own Baku in hand if he wanted to deploy it here. But that would be a dicey play, Eve, if he played the Baku, because then he couldn't tank up. I think he wants to tank up here. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
And then Sulfuras will actually break Frostmourne and deploy those minions right away.
That is really clever. That is super clever of him. To give himself a board immediately and challenge her for the next turn.
And now this Baku, the last minion in Pear's hand, susceptible to die insect, the Ragnaros hero power. As soon as it comes down, it's gonna get punched away by that or by the big game hunter that Red Knight just picked up.
BGH, that would probably be his call, so he'd be sure that the hero power would go face.
That's going to be 18 damage that's going to go downtown and set Pear to 1 life with no minions in play. Single cold blood. Not going to be able to put this one away. Actually, the
Clan Thug goes to 4.
That's right, and then that's
exact
0. That's
lethal.
exactly lethal.
Yeah.
Red Knight sequencing correctly with the Hench Clan Thug to bring the series to 2-1. He is now down to Token Druid versus the Taunt Warrior and the Odd Rogue. And Eve, both of those are very, very sketchy for the Druid.
I don't know the Druid well enough to kind of like know how it plays and what its matchups are.
So the Token Druid game plan is essentially ramp early, use removal to keep the game slowed down, and then try to get into a token combo. You use Whispering Woods plus Soul of the Forest to create an unclearable board, and then Savage Roar to finish the game. However, Taunt Warrior has so many whirlwind effects that those token boards can never stick, which is why Red Knight said, please no Druid in relation to this, or please no Warrior in relation to his Druid deck. So this is going to be a very scary situation for Red Knight. He's going to have to find a way to get a token board to stay in place against this cavalcade of whirlwinds from the Taunt Warrior. And then Odd Rogue can just rush down the Druid before it gets anything going. So
and she knew exactly what her last matchup was going to be because it was the only option he had left to him. So she goes for Warrior.
Yeah, and you said it earlier, like, get your tough matchup out of the way, try to get it in the win column. Now that her best 2 decks against this Druid are in a really good position to help her put this series away. Red Knight with no other play, no ramp, no draw, no removal, just going to go ahead and coin out a Violet Teacher and challenge that the Acolyte of Pain, but the Blood Razor comes into hand immediately. And that's one of many whirlwinds that are going to challenge these token boards from Red Knight.
Does she play it now and get a card off of it, or hold it for the tokens that are to come?
Well, it does have 2 whirlwind effects on it, so one for the equip and one for the death rattle. So she's thinking about just trading away now. Huh. I think I would like the Blood Razor there, but she may be going for the Execute. Yeah, she's going to go for the
that's
Execute.
Scary enough for her that she wants to just get rid of it before it gets any bodies out.
Yeah, because if it's combined with a Power of the Wilds, 1 Whirlwind is not enough to clear the tokens. And that deck does not really have any big minions. So that's probably one of, if not the best Execute target for Pear. So as I think that out, that's actually a pretty good call from Pear.
I have to rely on you because I do not know either of these decks as well as I should.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, this Token Druid is kind of the deck to watch right now. It is very, very good in the meta as it is. Combo decks or control decks can't clear the token boards very easily, so it just ends up just building and building, and then going double Savage Roar to in the game. Pear picking up a Stonehill Defender. Plenty of good options. Sunwalker's
I
not
think
bad.
Sunwalker.
Yeah.
Or Abomination to clear tokens with?
Oh, that's a good point.
No, she goes for Sunwalker.
So one of those is the defensive option. One of those is the offensive option. The Sunwalker, very very difficult for Druid to clear at Divine Shield and 5 health. So it's not a bad call. Keeps a minion on the board. But Wild Growth going to go ahead and get some mana going. Red Knight having both Savage Roars in hands, and now he is ramped into Malfurion next turn. But that Sunwalker looks pretty good.
She's going to decide to be the aggressor, going on the aggressive, making very, you need to take care of these plays instead of waiting for him to build his own board. So I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, because she can still save all those whirlwind effects for later on, but she can press the advantage now and force this Druid to play defense. That's a perfectly good game plan. And Red Knight was certainly eyeballing this Malfurion last turn off of that Nourish 2 mana. Goes with the taunts. Sometimes, though, Eve, the spiders are correct. You think they would have been correct here?
How much health do they have?
They are one attack, 2 health.
Yeah, she would have easily been able to clear 1 away with the Sunwalker because it has Divine Shield.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
So I think this way he lasts a little bit longer.
Yep. The Divine Shield gets expended on one of those Scarabs, and Red Knight at 8 mana has... I think that is Ultimate Infestation, yeah, but he's got a full hand. He's not going to be able to deploy that. Oaken Summon's probably going to pull out a Violet Teacher. There it is. And now he can start developing some tokens with a full hand of spells.
The
Removes
Greater
2 minions.
Jasper Spellstone is right up to 6.
Yep. So 2
So that's gonna
right
take care
away.
of both of her minions, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, all 3. Hero Power is going to take care of the Stonehill Defender. Very nice turn for Red Knight. Full board clear, develops several tokens, but Pear has plenty of options on her side of the board to handle all these minions.
She kept that Blood Razor long enough. She can put down her dragon. Kind of like the dragon play.
Dragon's not bad, although it does keep the teacher in play. So she may look for the Reckless Flurry. That would be a full board clear, and still allow her to develop a Tar Creeper.
And that's the call it looks like she's going for.
Yep. Reckless Flurry, then Hero Power, and Tar Creeper is not a bad play. Because that is the second Violet Teacher. Red Knight will be put down to just Whispering Woods to create a token board. And with the Blood Razor in hand, plus 2 Drakes, she's got everything she needs to handle
answers for days.
Yeah.
That's a good call. And exactly what she decides to do.
Red Knight picks up that Whispering Woods, and he can create a full board of tokens, but no Soul of the Forest to pair with it. So I don't think he's going to be reaching for that now. And then without a board, these Savage Roars become dead cards. He's going to have to go to Branching Path to draw some cards and get to a game plan. He's running the Injured Blade Master version, which gets pulled by the Oaken Summons. At full health, it doesn't take the damage from the Battle Cry. So that's a nice aggressive choice. But unfortunately, he didn't get that going. He's just going to go Whispering Woods here. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He has another one, right?
Yeah, there are 2 in the deck, but without being backed up by the Soul of the Forest, this is a very, very risky play. He's basically saying, Pear, you got to have a board clear here, or I'm going to do a double Savage Roar.
What is she looking for?
Well, I guess she just feels like the Blood Razor's enough. And I agree. I would have liked the Drake, though. That would have done the job just as well.
Well, my question is, the Drake does 2 damage, right? So she did just enough damage and then save the 2 for maybe if she has a board of tougher minions to deal with?
Well, Soul of the Forest does create 2/2 tokens, Treant tokens. So a Whirlwind plus a Drake would be a full clear on a Whispering Woods plus Soul of the Forest play. So that might be what she's looking for. So she switched back to defense. She's planning for the end game that Red Knight is trying to build, because he's down to 1 Whispering Woods. There's a Soul of the Forest, but no Whispering Woods to pair with it. Injured Blade Master, just a 4/3 here, which she can answer. via the weapon or Warpath, or she can just drop down a Lich King and say,
Lich
deal with
King.
it.
I like the Lich King as
Yeah.
a good, solid play. Like, you don't really ever go wrong when you just drop Lich King.
And especially into Druids, as long as it's not Hadronox Druid, there's almost no way for the Druid to answer an 8/8. Both Spellstones have been expended, so Red Knight would be down to like a double swipe, which is very unlikely. So
She knows all the cards that are in his deck, and she seems to be systematically getting rid of all his combo pieces. And then if she manages to do that, like, that's game over.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because Red Knight really is down to just one more card available to activate his endgame, and that's the last copy of Whispering Woods, and he's down to 9 cards. And what happens with it is a combo deck, more or less. It's like a 2-turn combo, and the longer the game goes, the more cards sit dead in hand, unable to be deployed because you lack the pieces. So by her taking away all those pieces, Red Knight's just stuck drawing cards, trying to find everything he needs. This is some really great play from both of these players. I don't blame Red Knight for the Whispering Winds play. He's just trying to get something on board, but Pear punished him for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Red Knight looking at this hand of cards. Spreading Plague for 1 token just to get the Arcane Tyrant down for 0 mana. Oh, man. Soul of Forest being used on this board. That hurts.
I mean, odds are not great that she's going to have a wide board where he's going to get a lot of value out of Spreading Plague anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right. And at the very least, it allowed Red Knight to deploy the Arcane Tyrant. So, now he has a slightly difficult board to clear. He's basically got to clear 4 minions here. But he's certainly got Pear has the means to do it. But easily. Doom Pact could even be part of the equation. But that Lich King's just sticking on the board turn after turn, Eve. There's just going to be Death Knight cards for days.
She may just sit there and not trade.
Maybe. Abomination considered, again, possibly to defend against the tokens. Now she goes for the Ornery Direhorn. That also completes
I think
the
with
quest.
the Drake and the Blood Razor in her hand, she's not worried about being able to deal with whatever he brings out. But now she's going to start putting pressure every turn with her Sulphurous.
Yep, another 8 mana minion from the Ornery Direhorn. Multiple board clears available.
Doom Pact, Doom Pact.
My goodness.
Anti-Magic Shield would have been better.
Yeah. There are a number of cards I think she would have preferred, but Doom Pact, I mean, it'll still get the job done if he develops a huge board of tokens. It'll cost her a lot of cards, but she can do it. Look at this. This is having to double swipe a 5/8 just to stay in the game here. His hand is totally depleted. Oh my goodness. Face tanking the Lich King. This is a full
I've done
clear.
that before.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, he does have armor gain in hands. He's clearing the way for that ultimate infestation. Pear, though, has plenty of options available to her here. She can go for the Sulphurous. It's not a bad play. She can draw a card off the slam, maybe too, to see what's off the top of the deck.
She's starting to get a handful of cards here.
Yeah, Lich King did his job. Yeah, she's just gonna go for the Sulphurous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like Sulphurous. Start putting pressure on him. Start getting those 8 damages to the face.
Yeah, I mean, she just basically saw Red Knight's entire hand, right? He just used almost the entire thing to clear the board. So, oh, look at this. This is clever. Slam on the 2/2, forget the card draw, get the minion off the board, 8 damage to the face. Let's get this clock ticking.
He's gonna have to use one of those ultimate infestation.
Yeah, he's got no choice. He has to refill. His hand is unplayable right now. Last Soul of the Forest got picked up. Whispering Woods now in hand. Arcane Tyrant's going to get played off the back of the ultimate infestation, so Pear does have to clear this, but she can easily do that by way of the weapon charge if she wants to, or even a Warpath set of plays will do it. But she's going to go with the weapon and hero power.
see what you get.
Face is fine. Throw down the Primordial Drake.
She could Doom Pact and just burn one card.
She could Doom Pact. Although I think she probably would have wanted to do that before the Rag Shot, but yeah.
Yeah. This is true.
She is thinking hard about it, though.
Looking at it. Like, I'm only burning one card. What card do I really, really not want to burn at this point? What am I worried about getting rid of?
I mean, she's completed the quest. She's got her in-game in hand. Now she's going to... I like this better. Go ahead and challenge the board. Red Knight... Well, she didn't want to deploy the Drake, probably, to save for token board, but Warpath is going to do it by itself. Red Knight is going to be able to clear the board with Trade and Wrath. Whispering Woods plus Soul of the Forest will get a board of 1/1s. The Death Rattle into 2/2s, but Warpath is the vaccine for this board. Easy play for Pair to basically remove Red Knight's last chance of being in this game for 6 mana. 1 card.
And does he just concede, or do we continue on?
No. We have to watch all my animations. 3 Warpaths will clear the board. Red Knight's combo is now dead and no longer available to him. It's just Rag Shots for the rest of the game now. No cards
and
left.
He's out of cards.
Yep. He can Spreading Plague for 1 Scarab. That's it.
Ultimate Infestation to kill himself with his own card draw.
I like it. Do it. I mean, Oaken Summons is... Okay, he's going to Oaken Summons for some
12 armor.
Okay. You know what? I don't hate it. You know, stay in the game for as long as you can.
Make him work for it.
Make Pair actually do... But I mean, once that Scarab's gone, then what? I mean...
Is she gonna Doom? No.
Nah. Just keep hitting that hero power. She doesn't have to draw cards here, but I guess, you know, why not?
She's got this all sewn up, all in the bag.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Red
We're
Knight.
going to game 5?
Yes. Game 5 series. This has been really exciting. Very well played and well thought out play from both of these players, Eve. This has been an exciting set.
It's like edge of the seat. What is going to happen next? And then we've got their last 2 decks. Her Rogue and his Druid.
Yep. And if Rogue has a good enough curve and Oaken Summons does not show its face in the early hand for the Druid...
Henge Clan Thug. That's what you want to see as a rogue. You hold on to that.
Yeah, for sure. She agrees with you that Henge Clan Thug stays, and a little bit heavy on the mulligan.
Yeah, no 1-drops. That's the only downside there. But I mean, turn 2 you dagger, turn 3 you drop Henge Clan Thug. What is he gonna do for the first couple turns? I'm not seeing a whole lot.
Yeah, generally, Druid's going to be looking for Wild Growth. There it is, comes off the top. Seems like magic, even if you don't get in the mulligan. Top deck that sucker on turn 2, and that's going to allow him to Oaken Summons on turn 3. And Pair's going to equip the dagger and start getting to work.
She does have her knives ready to take care of minions.
Indeed, Oaken Summons going to get that 4/7 Blade Master, though. That's the kind of body that Red Knight needed to challenge a potential Henge Clan Thug, and now suddenly Pair in a sticky situation. She can't play any minions without them getting traded off the board.
You think it's just going to have to wait for Vile Spine? That is not a good feeling.
No, but it might be the answer, though. There's not a lot of minions in the Druid deck, so just waiting a turn for the Vile Spine might be the answer here. Just maybe Fan of Knives to draw a card.
Deadly Poison?
Deadly Poison.
I feel like she wants Fan of Knives for the tokens.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, maybe just Deadly Poison and hit face, or just save it.
Yeah, she does need activators for her Vile Spine, so it is kind of anything she puts down can just be easily removed at this point. It's tough to not do anything as an aggro player.
Well, she puts down 2 damage and then redaggers and puts down the poison. So 8 damage for 3 mana. That's pretty good value. And Red Knight though secures the board, and not a ton of options here. Branching paths maybe to draw cards, but Violet Teacher will get a body on the board and make Pear's development even more difficult coming into turn 4. Got to believe a coin Vile Spine is in the cards here.
Yeah. But which body do you remove? I mean, Violet Teacher is just as scary in that deck as the 4/7.
Well, thinking back on the last game, Red Knight is not running Power of the Wild, which is one of the ways that you save those Violet Teacher boards from getting destroyed by like Fan of Knives. And if Pear was paying attention, she may have taken note of that. So, you know, maybe leaving the Vile Spine or leaving the Violet Teacher up is okay with 2 Fan of Knives in hand. But no, she goes ahead and kills it, respects that token generation.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. That's kind of a defensive play for an aggro deck. What you really want to do is to be getting your own challenging minions out there and making them trade with you.
Well, the good news here, though, Pear now able to clear the board. She was patient with that poison dagger, and the injured Blade Master goes down. Cobalt Scalebane comes out. Red Knight reaching for Malfurion to block that damage from coming in. Otherwise, he'd be spending 2 cards to remove the Cobalt Scalebane. I don't think he wants to do that. Double 5/5s are okay. Another deadly poison, not bad. But I think Pear wants to start developing some of these power minions that she's been holding on to. Tar Creeper for sure, Eve, to protect these either the Hinge Clan or the Vicious Fledgling.
That's a good call. For me, I want to be aggressive here. Tar Creeper doesn't really do much for you on your turn. Is not going to clear anything. Is not going to put any pressure on. And those are only 1/5s.
True.
It looks like it's what she's going to do, though.
I guess the Malfurion hero power is online, so probably wants to prevent her board from getting traded away by the hero power. But she's going to punch through these Scarabs and set up a nice board. Now she secures the board. Cobalt lands on the Tar Creeper, which is what you want there. And Red Knight,
a really good land for her.
Yeah. Red Knight's not going to be able to clear this efficiently. Swipe's not going to be a full clear. It's going to have to leave a minion or 2 on board.
And like you said, they can't really deal with a wide or a heavy board. They don't have that much removal. So now that he's spending all of this on these minions, she has Safe, Henge Clan Thug, and Flappy Bird to pull out next, really with not a lot to scare her.
Yep, the top deck Jasper Spellstone did allow Red Knight to get the full clear. But yeah, now Hinge Clan plus whatever else she wants to develop. Once again, asking for answers from the Druid deck that doesn't always have answers, but we can see the Ultimate Infestation in hand for Red Knight. Going to be able to handle that Hinge Clan Thug right away.
So her salvation is in Flappy Bird.
Get it, Pink Flappy Bird. But unfortunately, the hero power from Malfurion is going to be able to answer that pretty quickly here. And this refill here going to produce so much power for Red Knight. Draws into a ton more options. Well, 2 Flappy Birds.
Put them both down. Make him only be able to deal with one.
Yeah, there you go. Well, he can definitely trade with both with the Arcane Tyrant. But that early injured Blade Master Eve was just so influential on this matchup.
I think you'd call it clutch.
It was definitely clutch. We have seen the cards every now and then, just the top decks, the rolls off of some of those cards just really dictate the direction of these games. and force the players to make some hard decisions. And this one, no exception. This is forcing the odd rogue to not develop for several turns is really, really punishing.
Yeah, to the point where, I mean, that's it. If you're going for turns without playing anything because you can't let them trade into your minions, then that spells doom for you. Because that is your game plan. If you can't be putting damage to face, there's not really anything she's waiting to pull off in her deck that's going to save her and turn things around.
Yep, the Fan and Knives now getting deployed to try and draw some more answers. Deadly Poison going to clear out the zombie from the Ultimate Infestation, but leaves up the Arcane Tyrant. That's and no board development for Pear, and she's at 15 life.
Yeah, and no healing in Rogue.
Nope, and she's already expended a Tar Creeper, so no way to protect the face either. Any minion she plays can be answered by what's available to Red Knight, just on the board, not even counting what's in hand. Savage Roar. Oh, this actually might be a lethal setup here. 11 from the Savage Roar and 4 from the Swipe. That's going to do it, Eve. Game 5.
Didn't even have to use the tokens.
Didn't even need to get there. He had more than enough power in hands to finish the game because, as you noted, Rogue, not any defense available for the odd Rogue. I thought that was an incredible series, Eve. What do you think?
It was so exciting. My favorite part was the Spell Hunter, all of the different zombies we got to see, and just really intelligent play from both players. You know, thinking through every play and finding the lethal when we didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I was so focused on how does she live that I didn't notice that, you know, she actually had a way to die there. So, unfortunately, I think we're going to try and pull the players into a DM. I have Red Knight available. I'm going to have to go chase down Pear and see if she can join us. So I'm going to do that now, Eve, while I try to get Pear on the friends list. So let's get Red Knight into the call first. And it's going to mess up my cameras for the stream, but that's okay. So, Red Knight, can you hear me, and are you there?
Hello, hello.
Hey, Red
Hello,
Knight.
hello.
All right, so you guys can hear each other. Good.
All right.
How was it? Were you on the edge of your seat the entire time? Because I was.
Okay. So, mostly that Hunter Warrior game, and that last one kind of, but on paper I'm really favored. So, like, after the UI, I was kind of like, all right, it's just how I get there, not if I get there. But I was dying during the Spell Hunter match, like, emotionally.
Just
like,
not
right,
knowing
like,
what's going to come out of the zombies at any point.
Yes,
Like,
so, like, and you saw me, I'll save it, I guess, for once for, like, talking in front of everybody, but there are things about that matchup that just, like, on paper I'm super favored, but, you know, if Rexstar comes down, I'm pretty sure that like, if there was a way to adjust for the data, like, your percentage just drops to the floor, because, like, you have to answer so much pressure, and then apply pressure, and doing both is very difficult.
it's like Yogg in a hero power. You just roll the dice, and sometimes you get like rush and poison and lifesteal and taunt and.
It's so bad. It's Discover. It should just create a zombies for you and just pop it in your hand. That would be balanced. What it does now is just terrifying. Oh god.
What fun is that?
Oh, none. I mean, I love the card. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm just like, oof. If all it's gonna take is Hunter actually getting like competitively like juiced, and we're all gonna be like, Deathstalker Rexstar needs to be nerfed into the ground.
Well,
before this season, they were saying they weren't going to add any more new beasts to it, and that would have nerfed it into the ground.
Yes, it would have. There were situations in that game that only existed because of the additional beasts.
Yeah.
And that was just, ugh. I thought I played it relatively well, but, like, yeah, like, there came a point where it's like, all right, well, I can't just keep tanking up forever. Eventually, they're just going to get too much. You know, there's going to be some giant stealth thing I can't kill. So, had to go offense. I thought I got her when I just refused to trigger that explosive trap for like 18 turns.
Yeah, we noticed that you were really holding back on that trap. You thought it was an explosive as opposed to something else?
So it's either explosive or it's wandering monster.
Wandering monster.
Right.
And the logic is that there's a chance that I attack into it, it's wandering monster, and it just dies. But it could also be like injured blade master. There's there's ones that you just get high rolled out of the game, and then I have to resort resources that I have to save for like spellstone, the multiple to my sides. You know what I mean? Like there's you have to like go through that matchup and be like this card, and this card I'm saving removal for. So if I have to use removal on something that I view as relatively speaking inconsequential, it kind of hurts.
Hello.
I think we got Pear on the line.
Awesome.
We do.
Oh. Hello.
Maybe. So Discord sometimes takes a hot second to catch up.
Yeah.
I heard her.
Yes.
I
so
heard
did
her
I.
too.
Possible she can't hear us. So this was Red Knight. This was your for both of you is your last last in the 3-week rotation. You were stuck with these classes. Was that something you planned on, or was it just kind of how it happened to land after your first 2 weeks?
In my case, I planned. I was under the impression that Priest is going to be stronger than it was. I know I won with Priest the first time, but that was not my expectation. The reason I led with Priest is because I expected to need the most cracks with it. I was kind of surprised that Druid, struggled for me. But I mean, you roll Warrior against Druid, it's kind of hard. They have all the removal for it. What are you gonna do? So yeah, like I had planned out. I was like, so I think these 3 classes are probably gonna be the most well positioned. Turns out I got 1 right out of 3.
There you go.
It ended up working out, but I mean, still, it was kind of like unfortunate in that regard.
So let's check back with Pear. Can you hear us yet? Can we hear you? Oh, I take that as a no.
Pear?
Nope. Well, we'll keep her on the line just in case. And Pear, if you can hear us and you get your audio working out, just shout and we'll make room for you.
Absolutely.
So we we were really kind of paying close attention to the queue order that both of you were doing. Did you have a queue order in mind, or were you randomizing? How were you approaching that?
So I alluded to it earlier. I was not very confident in Spiteful Priest at all. I don't play it. I don't have a lot of reps of the deck in the current meta. I think the deck was generally constructed poorly before. That's why I took my liberties with the construction of the deck. But I just expected it to be the hardest deck to get a win with. So I went with that first. I figured then after that's kind of a coin toss. I just got to kind of figure out, quote, meta, next level them and figure out what they're going to play next, what pair is going to play next.
Right.
Because if I, for example, if I queued Token Druid into Warrior, I'd get blown out. I think in retrospect, what I should have done after I got the win, because again, I wasn't expecting to get a win with Priest right away, is since at that point I have the most likely chance to not roll my bad matchup with the Druid, I should have rolled the Druid next, because it's 2 out of 3 chances she picks to go with a not Warrior deck. So I should have done that, but that's a retrospective thing.
Yeah, it worked out for you, and the injured Blade Master off the Oaken Summons certainly helped in that game 5. I tell you what.
Yep.
Let's try again with Pear. Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
There we go.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, Pear.
What up?
So I'm gonna pitch you the same question, Pear. Lineup. First the lineup selection. Did you have a plan coming into week 6 as far as having these 3 classes lined up, or is that just kind of the way it landed for you?
Honestly, I just wanted to pick the decks I felt comfortable with. I don't play a lot of Warrior, so Warrior I was very uncomfortable with. I'm sure that showed a bit, but the other ones I was really surprised at how badly Hunter done. Hunter was my favorite, and that's why I queued first. But Rogue, honestly I didn't have a lot of confidence in Odd Rogue, and it really felt bad to taunt Druid, or not taunt Druid, Token Druid, but I mean, it's a bad matchup, so.
And we were noticing, we were talking with Red Knight about queue orders. Did you have a queue order for the best of 5 in mind? Because it seemed to line up pretty well for you, despite how the cards fell.
I mean, honestly, I wanted to go with Hunter first because I was the most confident with that. I got really worried once I realized that Token Druid was, going against my Rogue because that was bad. I don't know if I could have queued any better. I didn't really put a lot of strategy or thought into it. Just the deck that I felt most comfortable with, really.
Well, a lot of times that's the highest percentage play you can go with. Eve, I know you had a note or two that maybe you wanted to pitch at the players, so your go.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed watching you play the Spell Hunter, like all of the different beasts that we got to see that you created. It made it really fun and exciting to watch. I really wish that we'd been able to see Rockdalar come down.
Yeah.
But you just had so many cards in hand. There was like no chance that was gonna. But that was great because Rexar was giving you so much value. So on the other hand, that was a great thing as well. So I'm sad with Red Knight that we didn't get to see your Chameleos. I saw it in the deck list.
I tried. I actually was getting reps in with it today, and the things Chameleos can do to a game are silly. It gives you outs that you should not have. Trust me, I mulliganed for a 1-drop, and I just didn't get that 1-drop I wanted because, especially on the first game, I wanted to confirm as quickly as possible what my opponent was playing. So that's the real advantage for having Chameleos in the opening hand for me. Is just immediately
it's like spying
confirm.
into their hand.
Yeah, because that if it's Spell Hunter versus Recruit Hunter, right? I have to think about my removal differently. I have to think about how I'm allocating resources because again, if my opponent's on Spell Hunter, I have to be like Spellstone, double to my side. You have to go through this list. So, yeah, it that was kind of my logic for it, and also it's a sweet card with sweet art that sees no play. So I like it.
Yeah, true enough. So we're I know everybody's got some obligations to get to at the end of this stream. So Pear, if people want to follow you, and they definitely want to follow you, where can they find you on Twitch and Twitter and wherever else you want to send them?
Well, follow me on Twitch for sure. I mean, Twitter also. They're both Pear_HS, like the fruit. I would love to, meet anybody new.
Yeah, if you have not been to Pear Stream, it is one of the most wholesome things on Twitch. You should definitely check it out. And
Thank you.
Red Knight,
adding it to my Twitch queue.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
And Red Knight, where can people find you?
Red_Knight HS. That's both Twitter and Twitch. I stream pretty much every day, starting between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central. This depends on the night before and work and life and all this crazy stuff. So, but I do the best I can to stream every day, starting in between those times, and I usually go anywhere between 3 and 5 hours.
That's a nice, consistent. Y'all both have consistent streams, almost 5 days a week. So good stuff. Everybody, go and check them out. Follow them on Twitch. Follow them on Twitter. Sit in their chat rooms and say hi and bump those viewer numbers because you got to support the small streamers. Thank you both for coming on with us, and thanks for that great best of 5.
Awesome. Hey, GG's all.
GG. Yeah, it was a great game.
All right, so Eve, we can't wrap up the stream without talking about you too. I know you're going on a different podcast in a hot second, but where is your home in the podcast sphere, and where can people find you?
My podcast I do with Robin Grant is called Valen's Chosen, and you can also find us on Twitch at Valen's Chosen Podcast and Twitter at Valen's Chosen as well.
Yeah, and you want to check that out because she's Lore Master Eve for a reason. She does the lore segment, and it is awesome. It is.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's really good stuff. You should go into the history of Rockdalar maybe, since we got to see it on stream.
I hate to tell you, but we did. We covered it.
Oh man, shoot, I'm behind. I need to catch up. And if you want to follow me, I don't know why you would, but that's my Twitter handle right there. Come say hi if you like. We're going to be streaming more and more UHL matches as we go, practically a match a day. So check out twitch.tv/UnitedHSLeague, which is where you are right now. And also go to patreon.com/UnitedHSLeague and become a patron and figure out how you can become a part of this awesome community. But for the great players that we had tonight, and for Eve and for the rest of the UHL, good night, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye.